Macleay Kesby, hip number 6 from New South Wales, won the ACT and the New South Wales under-20 titles. And Padraig Heffernan, who was behind the Queenslander Lethleen at the under-20 champs in Queensland. And then William Pereira of Victoria, who's in hip number 14. He won the silver medal at the under-18 championships, Travis, which you watched and saw, but it's a pretty open affair here.
Yeah, it's good to see Pereira sticking around to contest this. He's running 3 from the left of screen, the second of the Tasmanians, who have got a good showing here with Jacob Gardner. He was the Victorian champ, and the Tasmanian champ has arrived here with a 9:24 personal best to his name. He's been really improving throughout the year. They're chasing the championship record of 8:55 set back in 2008.
Who holds it?
Richard Everest.
Okay.
South Australian.
I love going back. There's nothing better than getting out a little athletics state championship record books and say, where are they now? And most of them, of course, no longer doing athletics as you go through them, but there's some celebrated names as you look through those championship and junior records. 2 Queenslanders have gone to the front here in this big field. They did need to set themselves out. It was only a short sprint to the first jump and a couple of issues at the first water jump. 7 and a bit laps, and with the water jump on the outside here, it's a pretty fast start to the first water jump. And we've got 4 that have started to separate themselves as they come down at the end of the first lap.
So these 4 competitors led out by Joseph Lethleen of Queenslander, and that's closely followed by Gardner. Not too far behind is Jacob Gardner. And a big hello to Richard Everest, if he's tuning in just to see if his record's going to be broken this afternoon. I wonder if he does tune in each year just to check on proceedings. Then we've got the second of the Queenslanders in Padraig Heffernan, who's an interesting athlete. He was quite impressive in the 5,000 metres yesterday, Dave. He finished 6th overall in that 5,000 metres. He's probably more suited to this steeplechase. He came in highly credentialed here, and he set up the race really nicely. And on the back of that pack is Macleay Kesby of New South Wales. So these 4 athletes, they're coming down to the water jump, which a couple of different techniques. Often you'll see the step and then the leap over the water. Not too many go for the complete hurdle of the water. That can end in disaster.
I think it's only the crazy Kenyans that do that, really. Some of the men that their hurdling technique is agricultural, but gets the job done. Love the sort of hop over where they just tuck the leg underneath, but these 4 have started to clear out. This is an interesting event, the steeplechase, men's and women's, and you read back through the Australian record lists and in the Open and in the under-20, and it's an event that I think we underperform at the international level, and it's really interesting, and that's with no disrespect to those that have gone before, but Shawnee Crichton still holds the record in the Open events. Yusuf Abdi had a great go at the steeplechase, Marty Denton, etc. Donovan McFarlane, Jen Cars started off as the steeplechaser, but interestingly there's a new push in the development program, a little bit more money coming from the government and the Australian Athletics Pathway program. They're focusing on 3 events: the women's triple jump, men's 400 metre hurdles, and the steeplechases for men and women. And like we see in the 100, big fish in a small pond. You can be look at me, I can run 10.3, be a long jumper, or be a high hurdler, or be a triple jumper or a long jumper. So the 400 hurdles is an entry point to the Olympic Games and World Championships for our athletes, and we've got good athletes doing that, but we've had a lot of good 400 metre runners that could have contemplated the hurdles, and the same thing applies here. You've got to be able to hurdle, which not every distance athlete's got the flexibility to be able to leap over the barriers, but my view is that it's an event that qualification for a World Championships and Olympics is a little easier than it is, certainly, than the 5,000 or the 1,500. And so it's an open event. So it's encouraging to see a big field here in the under-20 events of young athletes who might see that there's an opportunity for them, and some of those athletes that might contemplate being a 5,000 just track runner can look at the steeplechase as an option if you want to compete for Australia at the highest level.
So here's our lead group of 4. Joseph Lethleen, the Queenslander, leading the way in the Queensland Championships. finished 7th in that 5,000 metres yesterday that we spoke of. Quite interesting, actually. His PB 9:15, and Jacob Gardner is 9:24. So Lethlean coming in with a slightly faster personal best. So it's going to be quite interesting just to see who cracks first and starts to just accelerate and make a move. We know on paper they're pretty close in times. Gardner, he's been here before, just missed the podium in the National Championships last year. And here's the danger for mine, and that's Heffernan, who's just deciding now to make a move. He's bringing along Gardner for the ride, and these two men with 3 laps remaining just start to push towards the finish line.
Well, that's a good move from Padraig Heffernan. He and Lethlean have had the good battles in Queensland. They were first and second in the Queensland Under-20 Championships. Lethlean got the win there. So they obviously know each other well, but just starting to drop off the back now is the taller Joseph Lethlean. So it's the two in front, Gardner and Heffernan. I've got a sheet that says that Gardner's run 9:19.18, but certainly this season he's a 9:24, so whether that was before Christmas or from last season. He was 4th in the Under-20 Championships last year, Gardner, so competing with another opportunity here, and they both look pretty strong, but they've burnt off Lethlean, so they can now start to contemplate a little what they do with 2 laps to go, and again Heffernan's just put in a little injection of pace. I like the way he's doing it.
Yeah, it was decisive and confident move from the Queenslander. Gardner now just finds a little bit of room on the inside. He had a bit of an opening there, just had a little look, and it was just enough for him to have a cheeky look through, and he now has made his move with 800 metres remaining. Jacob Gardner leads the way. Gold, silver and bronze once again up for grabs. Heffernan trying to stick tough, and this is where it is hard, isn't it? You just want to stay on the heels, not lose connection, just so you can make that final push through the last 500 or 600 metres.
Yeah, it's a long way to go too, so this is a strong move from Jacob Gardner, the Tasmanian, who, you're right, the run up the inside was bold, it was a bit cheeky, and the battle for the bronze isn't over either, because Lethlean is about, well, it's a big gap, isn't it? It's almost 50 metres behind Heffernan. Is closing with Kesby of New South Wales about 15 metres behind, so that's the battle for 3rd and 4th. You might see, there he is, you can just see him at the top of the screen coming into view, Lethlean, and then Kesby behind him as our 2 leaders clear the water jump for the second last time. He's full of running though, the leader. He's not going backwards, that's for sure, with a lap to go.
He's enjoying these warm conditions, about 31 degrees on track. And it'll be a welcome sound for our leader. He receives the bell, Jacob Gardner, and it's quick too. He's looking to try and push this last lap. He's going to be on and around 9 minutes. The clock just ticking over to 7:57 now. So with the speed he's showing down the back straight, this is going to be definitely right up there with his best 2 or 3 performance, no doubt about that. Our man in second, Heffernan, still holding it strong. Bronze still tightening up a little bit, Dave, because our man from New South Wales, Kesby, will just get a little bit of a sniff of a medal here if he can just pick the pace up a little.
Yeah, Lethlean's had a couple of big looks like over his shoulder. He's going to need a neck massage. He'll have neck crank from looking sideways. I'm not sure he's going to get there. He's had another look as they go down the back straight. But Gardner, this has been impressive. Final water jump, clear this successfully. You can see he's got tight legs as he comes in, as he goes past a couple of lap runners, but he's got a big margin over Padraig Heffernan, and that was a decisive move with a little over 2 laps to go, and this is going to be a great win for the Tasmanian.
Here he is. We can take a good look at our Australian champion. He negotiates the last steeple with ease and class, and he's full of running as he comes down to win the national title in a tick over 9:01. That's a huge personal best, just outside the championship record of 8:55. But congratulations to Jacob Gardner. He is our Australian champion. Here's our silver medalist crossing through, Padraig Heffernan. Congratulations. He too under his personal best, around that 9:14.15. And the second of our Queenslanders, Joseph Lethlean. He's hung on, he's battled strongly. That's a well-deserved bronze at 9.28. And charging towards fourth position is Macleay Kesby of New South Wales. Well done to him.